Sometimes, the people we leave behind never forgive us. And sometimes, the people we thought would love us forever turn that love into bitterness. Amanda Collins built an empire from nothing. Today, she's a powerful millionaire CEO. But when she walks into her office lobby one morning, she comes face to face with the man she once loved. Ethan, the boyfriend she left behind years ago. Only now, he isn't the man she remembers. He's working as a janitor. And the words he says to her next will shake the entire company. The Collins Corporation lobby was buzzing with the usual morning rush. Employees in pressed suits hurried past, clutching coffee cups and tablets. But when Amanda Collins walked in, the air seemed to shift. As the CEO, her presence always commanded respect. Yet today, something else stopped her cold. Across the marble floor, a janitor was mopping quietly. His hair was grayer, his posture heavier. But his face, Amanda knew it instantly. Ethan, the man she once thought she'd spend forever with. Her pulse spiked. She hadn't seen him in almost 15 years. Back then, she was a young woman dreaming of more, while Ethan was comfortable staying exactly where he was. He remembered the late-night arguments, the unanswered job applications, the big dreams he always talked about, but never fought for. She had walked away, not because she didn't love him, but because love alone couldn't build the future she desperately wanted. And now here he was, pushing a mop in the empire she built from scratch. Their eyes met. For a long moment, neither of them moved. Then Ethan's lips curled into a half-smile, more bitter than warm. Ethan said, "Didn't think you'd remember me." Amanda froze, unsure if the room had gone quiet or if it was just the pounding of her own heartbeat. Employees nearby slowed down, glancing between their powerful boss and the janitor who had just spoken to her so personally. Amanda whispered, "Ethan, what are you doing here?" He laughed low, almost mocking. Ethan said, "What does it look like? Cleaning up after people like you." Her chest tightened. She wanted to say something kind, something to ease the tension, but his words cut deep. The receptionist, sensing the awkwardness, shifted uncomfortably behind the desk. The entire lobby seemed to hold its breath. Amanda forced a small smile, though her voice trembled as she said, "Well, it's good to see you again." But Ethan only smirked and shook his head before turning back to his mop. He muttered, "Yeah, I bet it is." The sting in his voice left Amanda rattled. She turned quickly and headed toward the elevators, her heels clicking against the marble like a drumbeat in the silence. As the doors closed, she leaned back against the mirrored wall, her reflection staring back at her. For the first time in years, the confident CEO looked unsure. Because deep down, she knew this was only the beginning. The whispers began almost immediately. In an office where gossip spread faster than emails, employees were already piecing together what they had just seen. Their boss, the powerful Amanda Collins, had a history with the janitor. By lunchtime, Amanda overheard fragments as she walked the halls. One employee whispered, "Did you see the way he looked at her?" Another replied, "Yeah, there's definitely something there. Who is he to talk to her like that?" Amanda kept her chin high, but her thoughts were heavy. She had built her reputation on discipline, focus, and never mixing the personal with the professional. And now her past was walking the same halls as her empire. Later that afternoon, she spotted Ethan in the break room, restocking supplies. She almost walked past, but something inside told her to stop. Amanda said, "Ethan, can we talk?" He didn't look up from the cabinet. Ethan said, "Oh, so now you have time for me." 15 years too late, Amanda. His words hit like a slap. Amanda's jaw tightened. She said, "That's not fair. I never stopped caring about you. But back then, we weren't moving forward. I wanted more for us, Ethan. I wanted a future." Finally, he turned, his yes hard. Ethan said, "A future or money? Let's be real, Amanda. You left because I couldn't give you the life you wanted. You traded love for a paycheck." The bitterness in his voice carried into the hallway. A pair of employees who had been grabbing coffee froze, pretending to stir sugar just to hear more. Amanda's heart pounded. She hated the attention, but more than that, she hated the way Ethan twisted the past. Amanda said firmly, "That's not true. I pushed you, Ethan. I begged you to go back to school, to apply for something better. I believed in you more than you believed in yourself, but you never wanted to try." Ethan's hands clenched at his sides. His voice rose. He said, "You think it's that easy? Not everyone has the luxury to chase dreams. Some of us have to take what we can get." Amanda's eyes burned. She said, "No, Ethan. Some of us fight for what we want, even when it's hard. You chose comfort over growth. And when I realized that, I had to choose myself." For a moment, silence filled the break room. Then Ethan scoffed and grabbed his mop bucket. He said, "You haven't changed, Amanda. Still looking down on me. Still thinking you're better than everyone else." He shoved past her and out the door, leaving Amanda frozen in place as the two employees hurried out, whispering to each other. The pit in her stomach grew heavier. It wasn't just Ethan's words that hurt. It was the realization that the entire office had just seen her past, dragged out into the open. By the next morning, the atmosphere inside Collins Corporation felt heavier. Amanda noticed it the second she stepped off the elevator. Conversations hushed when she passed by. People exchanged glances they thought she wouldn't catch. Her employees didn't see her as just their CEO anymore. They saw a woman with a past now walking their hallways with a mop in hand. At first, Amanda tried to ignore it. She buried herself in meetings and presentations, but the tension followed her, trailing behind like a shadow. It came to a breaking point during a team lunch in the cafeteria. Amanda had just sat down with a few department heads when she heard a familiar voice behind her. Ethan said loudly, "Must be nice. Eating fancy meals while the rest of us scrub floors." The room went silent. Dozens of eyes flicked toward Amanda, then back to Ethan, who stood with a rag slung over his shoulder. His smirk wasn't playful, it was sharp, designed to cut. Amanda set her fork down slowly, her jaw tightening. She said, "Ethan, this isn't the time or the place." But Ethan wasn't backing down. He said, "Why not?" Afraid the truth might spill out with the coffee. Afraid people might find out who you really are. Murmurs rippled through the room. Amanda's employees shifted uncomfortably, trapped between loyalty to their boss and curiosity about the drama unfolding in front of them. Amanda stood, her voice firm but calm. She said, "Enough, Ethan. If you have something to say to me, say it privately." Ethan smirked again. He said, "Oh, I think everyone deserves to hear it." The great Amanda Collins didn't climb to the top alone. She stepped on people. And when I couldn't keep up with her precious ambitions, she left me behind. Gasps circled the cafeteria. Amanda's chest tightened, but she refused to flinch. She said quietly, "I didn't step on anyone. I built what I have because I worked for it. You could have built a future too, Ethan, but you gave up." Ethan's face darkened, but this time, he didn't fire back. He grabbed his rag, tossed it into the bucket, and stormed out. The cafeteria stayed silent. Every eye in the room was on Amanda, and though she stood tall, her heart was racing. The cracks in Ethan's pride were finally showing. But Amanda knew this wasn't over. The next move had to be hers, and it would decide whether Ethan's resentment destroyed her company's respect or forced him to finally face the truth. By the end of the week, Amanda knew she couldn't let things keep spiraling. Ethan's bitterness was bleeding into the workplace, and her employees were caught in the crossfire. So she made a decision. That afternoon, she asked HR to send Ethan up to her office. When he stepped in, mop bucket still rolling behind him, his smirk told her he already thought he was in trouble. He said, "What, gonna fire me now? Wouldn't be the first time you walked out on me." Amanda folded her hands on her desk, forcing herself to stay calm. She said, "Sit down, Ethan." He leaned against the chair instead, arms crossed. Amanda said, "I didn't bring you here to fire you. I brought you here because this can't go on. Not in front of my staff. Not like this." His laugh was short and sharp. Ethan said, "Your staff, your empire, your millions. Yeah, I get it. You win. I'm just the loser with a mop." Amanda's voice rose, her patience fraying. She said, "Stop it, Ethan. Stop acting like you never had a choice. You think I left you because of money? No. I left because you refused to grow. I wanted to build a life with you, but you were fine standing still. I pushed you. I encouraged you. I believed in you more than you believed in yourself. And every time, you pushed back with excuses." Ethan's jaw tightened, his eyes flashing. He said, "Easy for you to say. You had ambition. You had drive. I didn't have what it takes." Amanda's voice softened, though her words were sharper than ever. She said, "No, Ethan. You had it. You just didn't use it. You wanted comfort more than sacrifice. And when things got hard, you settled instead of fighting. That's why we didn't make it. Not because of money, because you gave up on yourself." The room went still. Ethan's hands curled into fists at his sides, For the first time, the anger in his eyes flickered with something else, shame. Amanda continued, "I didn't ruin you, Ethan. You ruined yourself. And as much as I cared about you back then, I can't carry you now." His breath caught, as if the truth finally hit deeper than he expected. Ethan said softly, "So that's it, huh? After all this time, you don't care what happens to me." Amanda shook her head slowly. She said, "I care. But caring doesn't mean saving you. No one is coming to rescue you, Ethan. Not even me. The only person who can turn your life around is you." Her words hung heavy in the silence, echoing louder than the city traffic outside her window. Ethan dropped his gaze to the floor, his shoulders sagging under the weight of her truth. For the first time, Ethan's anger cracked, revealing the broken man underneath. But would he take responsibility or fall back into blame? Ethan sat there, silent, his arms no longer crossed, his posture no longer defiant. For the first time since Amanda had seen him again, the bitterness in his eyes seemed to fade, replaced by something harder to admit: regret. He sank into the chair across from her desk, his voice quieter than before. Ethan said, "You know, after you left, I told myself I didn't care. I told myself you were selfish, that you just wanted someone richer. That's the story I've been telling myself for 15 years, because it was easier to blame you than to look in the mirror." Amanda listened, her face softening. Ethan continued, "But the truth is, you were right. I stopped trying. I was scared to fail, so I never pushed myself. And when you walked away, instead of learning from it, I just gave up even more. And now look at me." He gestured toward his uniform, his mop bucket still sitting by the door. His voice cracked. He said, "I wasted years, Amanda. Years." Amanda leaned forward, her tone firm but compassionate. She said, "Ethan, I didn't want to hurt you back then. I wanted us to succeed together. But when I realized you didn't want the same, I had to make the hardest decision of my life. To walk away. And I won't apologize for that, because it's what pushed me to build this life." Tears welled in Ethan's eyes, though he blinked them back quickly. He asked, "So what now? You're saying it's too late for me." Amanda shook her head slowly. She said, "It's not too late, but you need to understand, no one is going to do it for you. Not me, not anyone. If you want a different life, you've got to stop blaming the past and start building your future. That choice is yours." Her words landed like stone, heavy but undeniable. For a long moment, neither of them spoke. Then Ethan nodded faintly, his voice barely above a whisper. He said, Maybe it's time I finally try." Amanda offered a small smile, though there was no promise in her eyes. She said, "I hope you do, truly. But whether you change or stay the same, that's on you, Ethan. Always has been." Ethan stood slowly, his shoulders weighed down, but his expression softer. He didn't storm out this time. He just picked up his mop bucket and left the office quietly, leaving Amanda staring out the window. She felt a strange mix of sadness and relief. She couldn't rewrite the past, but maybe, just maybe, Ethan would finally stop living in it. The next morning, whispers filled the office again, but Amanda didn't pay them any mind. She walked tall, her head high, because she knew she had spoken the truth. And sometimes the truth is the only gift you can give someone who's lost their way. Moral of this story: we all face setbacks, we all have choices, but blaming others will only keep us stuck where we are. Success doesn't come from excuses, it comes from responsibility, and until we take ownership of our lives, we'll never move forward. What do you think about Amanda and Ethan's story? Was she right to walk away, or should she have helped him rebuild his life well? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And if this story moved you, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications, because we've got more powerful life lessons coming your way, and you don't want to miss the next tale. No matter where you're watching from, thank you for being part of this journey with us.